Our Jay Bilas is standing by, and Jay, of course, covers college basketball for us primarily and also has a legal background, but has some strong thoughts on what he saw, some of his takeaways. So, Jay, thank you very much for jumping in with us this morning. You and I were exchanging some text earlier. I'd love you to share some of the thoughts you have this morning.
Yeah, Michael, it was an interesting day yesterday, and the takeaway that I had is look, I have no issue with Ohio State. It is their decision on whether to keep or terminate Urban Meyer, and if they feel that the actions of Urban Meyer and Gene Smith did not rise to the level of termination, that's their call. That's fine. I was struck by the 23-page report and the rhetorical and mental gymnastics they were asking us to undertake in order to believe all this. That somehow Urban Meyer, and I couldn't agree more with Beadle when she said, does anybody use the term lie anymore? That Urban Meyer lied at Media Day. And let's just call it what it is. You know, he didn't, it wasn't that he couldn't remember or he had memory lapses. I mean, what other memory lapses did he have in that press conference? And so we're asked to believe that on one hand, he was responding only to whether Zach Smith was arrested and nothing else. And perhaps he had memory loss in addition to that. I don't believe that for 1 second. He lied. And we should call it what it is. The second part that struck me was the issue of the text messages, that his first reaction after learning of the August 1 media report was, what do you do to delete text messages more than a year? And when Ohio State gets his phone, his text messages are gone more than a year out. And I don't know how many people ask that kind of question in light of a news report and what was clearly going to be an investigation. So I think the Ohio State investigation was asking us to believe a lot of things that were unbelievable. What their ultimate decision was is fine. That's their business. But it's our business as to reasonable belief and what we're being asked to believe in the investigation. And I don't believe a lot of what was in the report.
And so what does this tell us about the standards of the people who made these decisions and reached these conclusions in Columbus?
That they're somewhat elastic. And if there's a standard of honesty, to me, you call it what it is. And if you say that, look, Urban Meyer lied at Media Day, but we do not feel that rises to the level of termination, I would accept that. But the idea that he didn't deliberately lie, there's no such thing as an undeliberate lie. You know, all lies are deliberate, otherwise they wouldn't be lies. He didn't have inaccurate information. He wasn't just referring to the arrest report or lack thereof, because the report found that he went beyond that in what he said. All lies are deliberate. You know, he lied, and that's all there is to it. So call it what it is. That's all I'm really asking for.
Jay, there's a part of me that wants to ask you about the bigger picture questions involving the culture of big-time college athletics today. And you make your living in it. You've lived in it and around it and played it at the highest level for a very long time. And I know how much you love college athletics. And yet we continuously seem to have stories of a relatively similar to this nature come up. What does it say about the culture of big-time college athletics in America today that we are constantly dealing with headlines of this sort?
You know, I don't know, Greeny, that it's necessarily the culture of college athletics that leads to decisions like this. I think we see it in corporate America. We see it in other aspects of our social fabric. I don't just lay everything at the feet of winning or the altar of winning. I don't believe that always to be true. I think this was a horrible situation. I thought that the press conference last night, especially the performance of Urban Meyer, was horrifying, and the fact that the name of Courtney Smith was never once mentioned, I thought was a sad commentary on the way we view domestic violence, or at least allegations of domestic violence. So I think we have a long way to go there, and Ohio State is certainly no exception. But I don't lay this all on the altar of college athletics and winning at all costs. I think that's taken a little bit too far.